What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 8 of Material Energy 4. I just wanted to give you a real quick heads up. The next two episodes are going to be a very long run of me completing quests that I have done off camera. Finn and Kapanga will not be joining me, so what you're going to see is just a lot of me showing you some of the stuff that I've done and me getting into some of the cool automations that I was able to do. So, without any further ado, enjoy. As you can see, I've done a lot of work around here, a lot of new things that you probably are wondering what's going on here. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and start with doggy metal. When I found the Simba item that was part of the quest, and that was actually in secrets. This one right here, it actually gave us 10 dog barium ingots. So there we go. So I had this around. All I had to do is make a dog barium large sword blade. So I got that one done. Why can't I claim the reward? Oh, I gotta pick one. And by the way, Finnegan actually joined me on the server earlier. Just to kind of take a look at some of the stuff that I'd done. So she went ahead and got the dog barium block, and I think I'm gonna take that as well. Even though actually, you know what? I'm gonna take the cutlass because I think I can replace parts, and then I can have a cutlass later on. So I'll take that. Bang. And next up, we had Queen's Gold. And Queen's Gold, it tells you right here the recipe, which this recipe is actually a little bit off from what I did. It says 8 gold plus 1 emerald equals 8 Queen's Gold ingots. That isn't entirely true because I put 8 gold in and 1 emerald, and it used like 1/4 of the emerald. So I ended up with a lot more Queen's Gold. And I don't know which one of these I want to take. So I'll just go ahead and take the plates because that'll transform into a lot of ingots that I can break down later into other things. So bam, there's that one. Aeon Steel is weaker than Manulin while keeping the Manulin mining level. Great for Ardite ore. Great for when Ardite ore is scarce. The recipe is 1 Alamite, 1 Cobalt, and 1 Aeon Steel. Now, getting Alamite was kind of a challenge, and I'll take you through some of the stuff that I did. I have, and I don't know if I showed this on camera, and there's a lot of stuff in here, but I have this igneous extruder, which is now doing smooth stone, but I had it doing obsidian, and I have a water source feeding into a barrel so I can just come up here and grab a bucket anytime I want to. Why is that connected? Oh well. Let's just disable that connection. And just as a real quick side note, I had a little setup here for making clay because I didn't really have a good source of clay that wasn't grout, and I needed that for a couple things. But I have a lava bucket here, or a lava barrel actually, that's actually coming out of this magma crucible and catching any excess lava that isn't being used up by this when I was doing obsidian, and everything is backstuffed right now, so that's all well and good. So that's where I got my obsidian for the Alamite. The iron, obviously, I got from Miner's Delight, but then I had a problem with the aluminum because there's no aluminum in any of the mining levels that I've done. So let's go ahead and take a look and see. I extended a platform here, and there's some of the stuff that I'll get to you later, but I just set up an automated oreberry farm. There are, you know what those things are, autonomous activators underneath each one of these, and then they feed into a vacuum hopper so that anytime one of these grows an oreberry, the autonomous activators knock it off, and the vacuum hopper picks it up and feeds it in this chest. As you can see, I've got quite a few. And so at this point, all I have to do is, I'll just come over here, because one other thing I did was make a travel anchor. I need to make a few more around this area so it's easier to get in and out of. So all I have to do at this point is just toss them in this chest. And we'll take this back. And they'll process into here. Also, I'll have to take you through what I did to get the raw beef. I'm no longer breeding wild cows. I got that mod figured out. That's where I came up with my alamite. I just got my ingots from there and then smelted it up, and that's where it came from. And I think I'll go with the shield. So we got that. Put these guys in here. Greater reward bags. All right. So let's move on. Next in line, the deep storage. This was actually an interesting one for me. This one wanted me to just make a basic cache, and I had never seen these caches before, but they work a lot like the Java barrels, except I went ahead and upgraded these. Let me see if I have a crescent hammer in here. Yes, I do. So I went ahead and upgraded these, and these are all reinforced, and they hold 160,000 cobblestone each. And so I got rid of all the chests and everything that I had here and put these guys in, and each one of these will hold 160,000. And I now have this little setup for making compressed cobblestone. Right behind this one is an Ender IO crafter that's set up to make compressed cobblestone. It's just set to pull out of the front so that when I set one of these caches down, it starts pulling stuff in. And then it feeds into this one that does double, then triple, quadruple, quintuple, sextuple, and then septuple. And then when I have one of these guys, see, I've only got one sextuple, so when I have a septuple, I'll be able to go ahead and start this crafter at making octuple. It's just going to take a little while to get there. So we got the cache, and that's going to give us some chests. So that was a good one to find. Bags of holding was just a crafting one. You make a bag of holding, golden bag of holding. Right there it is. It's 4 pieces of wool, a chest, a block of gold, 2 gold ingots, and a chest. So I did that, and quest complete. Let's see, what else do we have? What's next? Wireless redstone. I just had to craft a wireless lever, and that one was, oh, wrong button. Get in here. The wireless lever. It's just a block of redstone and a lever, so that one was easy. And then let's just go left to right. So we had Lamps of Darkness, which is a lapis lamp. Yet another crazy easy crafting recipe, because I had tons of lapis from that one. Now, this got me into Minechem. I actually went a little bit crazy with Minechem, and I'll go over that in just a little bit. But to get lazurite, you send lapis lazuli through a chemical decomposer, and it gives you the lazurite that you need. Surround that by some thickened glass, which is smelting down sandy glass, which is sand and glass. So really easy crafting recipe. So that one is done. Let's check our inventory real quick. I should have looked at that a second ago. We're looking all right. Okay, next one I did, Spectre Dimension. You had to make a Spectre key. which required, if you noticed in the last episode, I had the Spectre armor on. I've actually changed that, and I'll go through that in just a little bit. But the Spectre key, basically, anytime you kill those little ectoplasms, like when you kill a mob, every once in a while you get an ectoplasm that pops out of him that looks like a slime that flies. And if you kill it, it drops... maybe I have that wrong. You get a ghost, basically, that you kill, and you get ectoplasm. You mix that with a piece of iron, you get Spectre iron. That and a stick gives you the Spectre key, which then opens the Spectre dimension, and maybe we'll check that out. But for right now, we're just going to claim the reward. Next one, this one was, oh my gosh, this one was painful. Okay, so it tells you right here, the animals here aren't domesticated yet and won't drop very many useful items. Breeding them multiple times through generations should result in domesticated breeds that will be more useful. And I am still working on sheep because I want to have a good source of wool to make the open block elevators. So let's see if I've got any wheat in here. I have one. So to do that, I decided I need to go ahead and set up a wheat farm. And I'll just go ahead and show it to you. I've actually already harvested the cows. Am I full over here? Holy cow. I'm actually going to set up, if I can. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I do know that these eggs will produce chickens because I've produced a couple of them that way. Holy cow. Let me grab these guys. Let me empty this out real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, all set. So, basically, all I had to do is, since I had 2 of the wild chickens, I just kept breeding them until I actually got 2 real chickens, and I killed all the other ones and just started with those 2 chickens. I'd get eggs, toss them in my little cage there, and then breed them and let them grow up and repeat the process. Same thing with the cows, and that's what I'm doing with the sheep now. And since I was doing that, I got tired of having to go kill skeletons, get bone meal, and just sit there making bone meal. So I went ahead and made a wheat farm, just using the farming station from Ender.io, which I'll show you the crafting recipe in a little bit, because that actually turned out to be kind of a that turned out to be an adventure in itself, because there was some stuff that I didn't have access to that I needed. But we got it handled. Please get out of the way. Alright, let's breed you guys. I seriously doubt that I get an actual sheep yet. But you'll know when you get them, because they won't have the horns. Alright, let's get them over here. I think I bred all the adults. There we go. I didn't. Nope, looks like I got a couple more of those guys. So, I'll have to do another round of breeding. No big deal. Let's get back to getting through these quests, because I've got a lot of them to get through. That was it. I needed to get 20 leather, 20 feathers, and 20 eggs. And that's going to give me some spawn eggs. Awesome. Next one on the list, Ender parcels. This was another crafting one. Extremely boring. That's why I didn't do it on camera, but I'll show you the crafting recipe. Ender letter. You get an ender fragment and 4 paper. So that one was extremely easy just to get done. Let's start throwing some stuff in here, because these guys do not stack. And I keep my spawn eggs somewhere else. So that one's done. Superb farmer. I already had the reeds, and I dismantled my reed farm when I started moving everything. But this was just a very simple cactus farm and then pumpkin farm. I don't have my watering can, or I would show it. This is just a vanilla pumpkin farm, automated. These two, whenever this pumpkin grows, it'll conduct a redstone signal. that will then shoot up here and fire these pistons to break the pumpkins, and then the vacuum hopper picks it up. Same thing with this. Anytime this grows, it can't have a block adjacent to it, so it will break off, and the vacuum hopper picks it up, and it's pretty efficient. The pumpkins are a lot slower, and I could have done a bigger pumpkin farm, but I didn't think it would take as long as it did to get it done. But we got it done, and that's going to give me some chickens, cows, and sheep, and I'm actually going to see. Let's go see right now if that actually gives us real sheep or if it gives us wild sheep. Because if it gives us wild sheep, or actual sheep, nope, it gives us wild sheep. That's lame. Okay, so let's go upstairs and dump those off. So I did that one. We claimed the reward. Next one was pumpkin pie, pumpkin, sugar, and I had to have eggs. So I needed 10 pumpkin pies. Got that one. I keep trying to hit escape, and that takes you out of this. So let's go ahead and close out this side of the thing. Teleportation. Craft magnetic force. Magnetic force is a signalum gear. So that actually took some work trying to figure out how to do signalum, because it wasn't, as I recall, it was not an easy one to figure out. Destabilized redstone, copper, and silver. So I actually have I have my magma crucible downstairs. I thought I made another one, but I didn't. And then my fluid transposer was up here. I actually think I had a couple buckets of redstone down, like in the AE system. So I just put them into a drum and went from there. That's where I got my bucket of redstone, and then the copper was pretty easy to come by. There's a lot of it in the Miner's Delight area. Hintos, which is the ectoplasm, and an empty Hinto. I actually found an empty Ginto or Ginto or whatever that word is in a chest in one of the areas, and I don't remember where it was. I think it was in the biosphere. So there that is. Bronze and Damascus steel was another Tinker's construct thing. Damascus steel is used in a couple different mod packs, but let's look it up. Damascus steel ingot. C. Damascus steel dust is Tinker's or bronze. Let's see if I can find it. So it's 3 copper and a 10 to get bronze, and then you mix that with iron, and you get Damascus steel. I just did that right here in the pulverizer and the redstone furnace. Good. Basic. Okay, that's why. So those are done, and I really don't know what the Into thing does. Oh, it lets me revive anybody, which is really not necessary. Alright, so Damascus steel, we got it. See, here's how I'm thinking about this, because I think I can melt these down. The scythe I don't know for sure, but I know that this is 8 ingots worth. A tough tool rod is going to be 3, and a sword blade is going to be 1. So I'm going to go ahead and pick. Oh wait, I get all of them. Never mind, I'm not going to pick. But I am going to throw these guys in here right away. Reward bags, get those back. So let's move on. Next in line, renewable cobble. It tells you to make a cobble gen, which we had already done, and then you needed to make 3 double compressed cobblestone. So that's going to give us a green heart and reward bag and 5 more world interaction upgrades. Yeah, I really don't need any more of those. Ferrous and Invar, I needed to collect ferrous ore, which was in Miner's Delight, and make it that and iron into Invar, which you can do in either the smeltery or in the alloy furnace. I did it in the alloy furnace. We'll claim the reward. What did that give us? More reward bags. Okay. Next on the list, I haven't done the hepatizing yet. I actually found some hepatizing in a bucket, 4 ingots worth. I just haven't done anything with it yet. Alamite, I told you how I got the alamite. I needed 10 ingots. I got that. Oh, so then Electrum is gold and silver. I'm going to get some cool stuff from that. Silver and lead, which we found in the last episode in the Rotunda. So that one was easy. I just had to get 10 ingots of each. I get a block of each now. Ring of Fire. This is vulcanite, which was at the bottom of the Rotunda when we were going in to get the wool. Those are those blocks that we were walking on, and I actually made my armor out of that and was able to make an enchanting table and all that fun stuff to enchant it. I'll show you guys that stuff later. The cool thing about vulcanite, let me pick up some vulcanite ingots if I have any. I do. The cool stuff about this is you can actually craft this into a blaze rod. I don't think I'm going to need any blaze rods, but I think that's a cool option. And let me drop some of this stuff in here, because I think my inventory is going to get pretty out of hand pretty quick, because I did just so many quests. Next one I did was cobalt. Holy cow, guys. Let me load this up, because I think this is just stupid easy, and like I can't believe that Minecam makes getting cobalt this easy. So let me find, where's it at? Biosphere. I guess I didn't need to load this up. I could just tell you how I did it. So to do this, I was like, man, I have not seen cobalt anywhere. So I start looking up cobalt, and we'll find the cobalt ingot. Okay. You get shapeless crafting. You keep going through here, and eventually you come to Minecam, which is what I jumped in. So I said, okay, well, how do I get this? So the chemical decomposer, you can get it from molten cobalt, obviously, cobalt ore, and then the one that I could not believe, wait, that was it, I think, was here, cobalt nitrate. Look at where you get it from. Red dye, rose red dye. Did I load up the biosphere? I did. And let me show you how easy it is to get rose red dye. I just need to get some bone meal, and we'll head in there. See, this is just one of those things with the 2 high flowers. Each one of these will go in. Will go down to 2 rose red dyes, and then we can run up here and toss this in the chemical decomposer, and it's 1-to-1. It gives you 18 cobalt nitrate when you put in 18. I messed this up. The cobalt nitrate, you run through the decomposer again. Now we have 16 cobalt. Put that in there, and you place that in there so it has it to use. This is just your crafting menu, and then you'll be able to get a cobalt ingot. Pretty cool. And then that actually got me started thinking, man, I would really like manualing. Where can I get some ardite? So I started looking at it, And so I can get it there, and then I just kept going looking for the chemical synthesis. Okay, I need to find argon. So where do I get argon? Alright. Look at that. It's in skystone. It's not very common, and you get a bunch of stuff that's radioactive, which I'm keeping in that chest right now, and I'm not opening that chest because if I open that chest, I will die. But you know, that was a good find. Let's head down and actually put the cobalt in with our tinker stuff, and run the dust. That's going to give me 4 more cobalt ingots. So I was actually able to get Manulin pretty early, and I made Finn and Capangas some Manulin swords. I actually could not replace the sword blade here with a Manulin sword blade. Don't know why. I'm confused. I don't know why I couldn't do it. It's an iron broadsword. I don't know why it wouldn't let me replace it. But this thing is pretty freaking stout now. It does 11 hearts of damage now, and plus on top of that, it's got smite and fire, fire aspect and all this other stuff. One other thing I've been working on in Tinker's Construct is every time I get a modifier, I'm upgrading my durability with a obsidian large plate that adds durability to your tool, and once you are up to reinforced 9, you have infinite durability, so it never wears out. So I have this one at reinforced 4. My bow, which I have been working on, actually replaced one limb with a blue slime limb, which was awesome. I'm adept at it. It's got some cool stuff. And then I made some... the arrows are tricky here. They don't all work. So I went with an alamite arrowhead, a wooden tool rod, and slime leaves. And these things are pretty cool. They're like a one-hit kill, and I'm working on adding reinforced to these because same thing. They already got repair by just luck with iguana tweaks, but when I hit reinforced 9, I assume it's going to be basically like I never use any arrows because the durability is the number of arrows you have left. So let's keep moving on. Alright, so we got cobalt, and then that sent me down the task. I got ardite from from breaking down skystone into argon, and then creating an argon ingot just like I did the cobalt. Melt those together, and you get Manulin. And that gave me a Manulin block, and that is a block of Manulin. It's pretty freaking awesome. Pocophinium, I actually found a bucket of Pocophinium somewhere, or it was a quest reward or something. So I just took it down to the smeltery and reversed the flow on one of the drains with a fluid conduit, and then melted that, and then I had 5 ingots worth, so I was good to go. Got that one. What else do I have here? I think that I might have actually cleared all these out. Holy cow. Oh no, one more. I just needed to collect some soul sand. I actually had to make soul sand. I needed it for one of the things I did, and this is going to be awesome because it's giving us a soul fragment, which means I'm going to be able to make some cool stuff. The most important one, we'll have to do this later because I actually need octuple compressed cobblestone to do this, but is going to be the reinforced watering can. So I'll need 8 bedrockium ingots, a bowl, and a soul fragment. This one I can actually place in an autonomous activator above my farms, and that's going to create some pretty awesome. It's a much better growth than what you get just with the normal watering can. And also, until I set up a sprinkler, not the most efficient design, but it's suiting my purpose at the moment.